What's good, y'all? So just got back from the gym. New week, like we talked about. This is a new opportunity for us to try something different, for me to film differently, go about my trading differently, just doing everything a different way. So this is a new week of that, and yeah, y'all enjoy the video. Let me know what y'all think, and let me know if you learned something from it. I'll catch y'all at the end of the video. This is week one of us doing it different. So y'all enjoy. I'm gonna tune back in. With y'all later. For tonight, AUD, NZD, I talked about this on the trade idea, I think the other video. We talked about how price is bullish on the daily time frame, and now you can see how price is forming that pullback. This daily time frame, you can see how we have this beautiful bearish variation engulfing past that previous bullish candle. This allowed the 4-hour time frame to present us with that break of structure. Clear as day, we were bullish. Price then goes bearish due to the breakout of these higher lows, and this also allowed the 1 hour to do the exact same thing. So right now I will be waiting for the 4-hour time frame to form a beautiful retracement, one allowing the 4-hour to have the break and retest of that zone, well, of that structure. Once that is established, we look for the 1-hour time frame, look for price to get back into the zone. If price is above the zone, we simply wait for price to get back underneath, wait for the shifter structure on the 5-minute time frame, and simply ride this trade back towards the downside. So AUD NZD looks really good. I'm simply going to wait and see if we can tap back into our zone come later tonight, and we will capitalize from there, see if we can capitalize from there. So AUD NZD recently gave us that 15-minute bearish variation pattern, but I'm gonna tell you why it wasn't a good entry. The first original break of structure was around here. This is on the 5-minute time frame, which is of course what we look for. But when price was presenting us with this break of structure, going back towards the 15-minute time frame, let me actually go into replay mode so it's a little cleaner. You can see how when this break of structure was presented, the 15-minute time frame gave us this beautiful, so you would think. Only reason I call this a invalid variation pattern is because the first has already presented us with the engulfing signal. So now the second candle is more just the continuation of that signal. So because of the already given us the presentation, we walk away due to this being a invalid entry signal. Yes, it's not the best because our first entry, well, our first take profit level will be right here at these 1-hour lows. But as long as price can give us a break of these 1 hour lows, I would look for the retest and then the continuation all the way towards targets. So I do like this trade. We will be entering this trade if it presents us with a entry signal, and if it does, we simply find our entry and we ride this trade towards the downside. So updates will be coming here shortly. All right, just entered a position. You can see right here, we got the $84 account. You can see where it says live, floating around $2 in drawdown. You can see our position. We have a beautiful sell position right here on AUD NZD. Price has recently broken through this area of support, recently known as resistance as well. We came back to retest this area of support / resistance, found rejection, and entered off of this beautiful bearish engulfing. So we're going to be holding this position to see if this position can play out. I'm risking around $40 total on this account. So if price does play out fully, we'll look at a $80 return or $90 return, just depending on how price ends up pushing, and we'll go from there. So right now we are active, and I guess I'll just take y'all with me with what happens throughout the day. So come on. All right, y'all, so I ended up closing at break even. I didn't like the setup, and I'm about to show you why. Hold on, I'm about to show y'all the account. So ended up losing like around $10, but that's only because my execution on the broker was a little bit further away than my actual execution. But like I just explained to the Discord, because I just made the video, or I just made the recording for them, I don't like this trade for multiple reasons. So looking at this opportunity, right, my entry came in the middle of no man's land. I want to have my entries at my potential lower high. So when price had the break and price had the retest at the peak of the market, I wanted to find an entry here. This giving me a bigger risk to reward in return. And then two, I'm at that level of support and resistance to take that trade back towards the downside. And then two, my entry came basically at my lower low, being in the midst of this push. So not only are we away from my entry zone, the push has already happened. I'm looking to get in when the rod is already gone. It's not the smartest. And then three, I look to target my first structure point. If I move this back towards my first structure point, being these lows, I get a negative return, a 0.65. I'm risking 1%. If I only get 0.65 in return, that is the worst risk reward ever. So that was another reason why we shouldn't take that trade, because minimum, if I'm targeting this first structure point, I want to see price give me back a 1-to-1, at least allowing me to make my risk back from the market. So I didn't really like this setup. Don't get me wrong, I still see price falling in for this trade. It's just our entry wasn't the best. Like, this whole setup wasn't the best. So I'm gonna leave this mock trade up. I have an X showing me that this was a horrible trade. We did not enter this trade. This is a mimic trade. So whatever happens, this is going to show you the back end of it. So let's see what happens. Just got back from the gym. I apologize for the mess. I'm in the midst of folding. Euro NZD, the daily time frame, you all can see we're bullish, but price is getting back underneath this area of resistance, right? The recent break of structure. Zooming out, looking towards the left, for those that do need to see this, go towards the weekly. You have a better view. You can obviously see how this area is treated as resistance, 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 support, support. And we have major signs of rejection with wicks towards this area of interest off of the weekly time frame. This is just showing me that this is a strong area of interest. And now you can see the daily is getting back underneath this zone, which is pushing the 4-hour time frame to go from this bullish to now bearish trend due to the break of this structure. Come later tonight, if price can continue this bearish movement, I would simply wait for price to have this extension towards the downside. After we have the extension, allow price on the 4-hour to have the pullback, forming the retracement towards the recent break of structure, but ultimately forming the retracement towards the 1-hour break of structure, which will be looking like this. And if I zoom out and I just drag this zone out towards the left, you can see we have a zone of resistance, support, support, rejection, 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 right? And we're just looking for the next pull, retracement, rejection, and fall. So Euro NZD definitely does look good for our trade for tonight. So let's see what happens. I do like this trade. It looks really, really good. So yeah. All right, last time y'all see me, we took a position, ended up closing that position due to that trade being ugly. Trade ended up actually reversing. I think it was Euro JPY, was it? Hold on. The AUD NZD, so I'm about to pull it up and I'm about to show y'all what happened. Obviously, I was looking for sales, but the reason why I told y'all I wanted to close out this trade was due to price just showing me really ugly structure, something that we don't want to get in on. One, we're in the middle of no man's land. I'm not in my area of interest. Stop loss, not too big, but overall the trade was just stupid, right? And we avoided an L. So look at this. We ended up closing this trade. You can see why we closed. We already explained. But the reason why we closed, well, we were too close towards our lower low, which is fine. It happened. This is good because I'm showing you how to stick with a plan, trust that plan, not really worried about the aftermath of what happens in the charts, but allowing that plan to really push you to making the correct decisions. Before, I probably would have held this trade because I'm trying to prove some shit that I don't need to prove. I don't need to prove shit to y'all. So ended up closing this trade. We have a banger trade right now, Euro NZD. You can obviously see we have this beautiful bearish trend. Price has recently got back towards this area of support, looking to break underneath. Going towards a higher time frame, you can see how we are also in sync with the 4-hour, being the 4-hour and the 1-hour in sync towards the downside. 4-hour has recently performed the break of structure underneath this strong area of support and resistance, have the pullback, and now you see we're possibly going to form that bearish engulfing. So later, well, not even later, I'm about to say later tonight, today Friday, I would love to see right now what's happening His price is forming the breaker structure, which is good. We just don't have an entry signal. So even though price is giving us this breaker structure, we still have to wait for this entry signal. Entry signal being bearish engulfing candle, since we are in a sale. So we're gonna see what happens. I don't know if it will give me an opportunity right now this morning, but if it does, I will be entering this trade and riding this trade towards the downside. Good trading opportunities. We simply got to see how it continues to play out. So let's see what happens. Updates, I'm gonna cut y'all on and take y'all with me with whatever decision I make. All right, so no trade today, which is good. I wasn't forcing a setup. Stuck by my rules. Avoided a loss, and what else? That's it. We avoided a loss. Everything else played out to the T. We called out like 3 trades, I want to say, this week. All of them played out to perfection. Yeah, we simply got to wait now until next week. What I'm about to do is do like a full breakdown of the chart so I can just get prepared to next week. Well, for next week, that just tends to help me more because I'm not rushing on a Sunday night or Monday trying to get everything down. I like to be prepared because, like you all know, if you don't know, the market closes at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time every Friday, and then opens up at 4 p.m. every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So simply just be ready from Sunday night or Sunday evening to take some trades, and we'll go from there. Nothing this week. Good week of being disciplined, staying true to our rules, and now we wait until next week. We'll do a full breakdown, like I said, and then just get prepared. So yeah, no trades this week. Called out amazing trades. Stuck by our rules, closed out a losing trade, avoided a loss, and you saw it all happen. So I'm gonna see y'all next week with updates on this account.